And we are live. Hi, everyone. Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Purpose, Passion, and Profit podcast. My name's Kelly Dawn. I am a business coach and money mindset mentor for badass leaders on the internet who want to make more money doing what they love. If you are joining me live, say hi, drop me a comment. If you're watching the replay, give me a hashtag replay. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, just give me a wave. Give me a little virtual wave. Let me know you're here. Actually, if you're listening to this on the podcast, I would absolutely love it if you would take a screenshot and share it to your Instagram stories and tag me at I am Kelly Dawn, because I love knowing that you guys are getting value from the show, and that way I can share you out to my audience as well. All right, you guys, let's dive right in. I'm super excited about today's topic because we're talking about 2022 goals. And this is the season, this is the time of year when we are all set to go all in with our big dreams, with our vision. But I also know around this time of year, a lot of people don't dream big enough and they don't really go for what they truly desire because they're afraid of disappointment. So that's the first thing I want to talk about with you guys when it comes to goal setting, because there was a time when I would dream really big. I would set these huge, audacious goals. I would feel all fired up. I would visualize things. I get into the whole vibe of that next level self. And then if I didn't hit them, I'd be super disappointed. I'd be really hard on myself. And what I would do is I would scale things down and it would make things a lot more realistic. Because one of the things that we have as human beings that's really important to us is not feeling disappointed, especially if you are a woman. This is something that is deeply, deeply ingrained in our system. And if we are setting these big goals and we're not hitting them, we will stop that. We will cut that out completely because we don't want to experience disappointment, right? We'd rather just reach a little bit higher than what we're normally doing. And then if we reach that, then we feel okay. But when we do that, we limit ourselves. We completely limit ourselves. And we need to remember that we are the entire fucking universe walking around in human form, and that we can create whatever the hell we want. We can create whatever the hell we want in our business, in our personal life. Everything is available to us. Everything is. And so I really invite you guys to tune in and ask yourself, like, if I was choosing to live my life with no limits, what would I ask for? What would I ask my higher self for? What would I ask the universe for? If there's a higher power you believe in, just insert that name now. But what would you truly claim, and what would you decide to create in 2022 if you had no limits? So that's the first thing we want to look at is, what are you deciding? What are you deciding is going to be available for you in 2022? And this is a place where you can grab your journal, you can meditate, you can light some candles, you can get yourself into a really cool space where you're allowing yourself to expand, right? Turn off the outside noise, turn off social media, and go within and ask yourself, like, what the fuck do I want this year? What do I want 2022 to look like? And if there's a voice that comes up in your head as you're doing this, it says, like, you know what, that's a little bit too big, that's a little bit too scary, that doesn't really feel realistic, just ignore it. Just ignore it. Just tune that voice out and tap back into your desires, because your desires are the thing that are leading you to that next level that you have available for you already. You wouldn't have the desire if what you actually are thinking about isn't truly available. So we want to be asking ourselves, like, if I had no limits, if I could do whatever the fuck I wanted to do, what would that look like? And get crystal clear on that, because that clarity is the thing that's going to move you in the direction. It's going to pull you in the direction of your desires. Hello, hello. Good morning to everyone on here live. It's so great to see some familiar faces. Hi, Nikki. Hi, Angelica. Awesome. Okay, so once we have clarity on our desires, we have to claim them. We make a decision that there is no other option. And that's what the word decide means. It's cutting off all other options. And you guys have probably heard, if you're in the coaching space, you probably heard that whole analogy of like burning the ships, right? We burn the ships, there's no going back. There is no going back. That is the vibe that we need to be in. Because when you give yourself an option B, a plan B, you have something to fall back on. And your mind will always bring you back to safety. Your mind will always bring you back to this place of, as long as we didn't die, we did a good job. So let's just keep repeating that same thing over and over and over again. And so when you go to grow, when you make these moves that are really expansive, your mind will want to have a backup plan. It will want to have something in place saying, yeah, you know what, that's great and all, hooray for dreaming big, but let's be realistic. Let's plan out some things that could happen just in case that big dream doesn't come to fruition. And it's okay to look at alternatives. I'm not saying not to, have any other options available, but we can't focus on that. We really need to burn the ships. We really need to focus and go all in on our vision and decide that that is what we want. Because this comes back to the truth that we are the universe in human form. We are the ones creating everything that we experience, and we are the only ones who limit ourselves. There's not some outside force in the universe that is stopping us from having what we want. There's not. That's us. Like, we are the only ones that do that to ourselves. And it doesn't matter what your current circumstances are. It doesn't matter what your current situation is. Things can change as soon as you change your internal state. And that's why we hear about stories of people who grow up in like really poor conditions, right? You look around, you look at the evidence, you look at their circumstances, you look at the situation you're in, and you're like, that person, like, they have no hope. Like, how on earth are they ever going to create anything epic being in that environment? And they do. They create what they want because they fucking decided that their life was more than what was going on around them. Right? So it doesn't matter what your current circumstances are, current situation, what happened in 2021, what happened last month, what happened last week. None of that fucking matters. It's where you're going. It's what you're deciding to be true for you. But we need to draw a line in the sand, and we need to make ourselves available for our desires. And those other things like the plan B, we can't feed that our energy. Because as long as we're playing over in that realm, it's like we have one foot over here in our desires, one foot over here in like the plan B, wishy-washy, like, okay, fine, this might happen. As long as our energy is split between those two places, we're never going to get to where we want to go. Or it's going to take a really long time and feel really hard because we're dragging along this other part of ourselves that isn't aligned with that next level vision. So we need to draw a line in the sand, fucking decide what it is we want, and then move in that direction. And the second thing we want to do here ties in with that, and that is noticing when you're wavering. So we get crystal clear on where we're going, right? We have the desire, we're locking it in, it feels amazing, we're visualizing, we're journaling things out, we're creating the vision boards for 2022. All of this stuff feels really, really good. But then throughout the day, we want to notice, okay, where am I doubting myself? Where am I launching a program and then questioning how many people are going to sign up? Where am I launching the podcast or putting something new out into the world and then doubting that people are going to like it? Just notice where your energy is wavering. Notice where your mind goes, because that's what's really running the show. It's what's going on beneath the surface that's creating our reality. And that's why we can be taking action all day long. We can get in this energy of go, 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 hustle, the doing energy. We can be in that vibe, and we can be doing all of the quote unquote right things in our business. But we're not going to see the results that we want if our energy is wavering and we're playing in the realm of, I don't think I can do this. And you're constantly filled with fear, doubt, and scarcity. And it's perfectly normal to go to that place, right? We're human. We're going to have doubts. We're going to have fears. We don't want to make ourselves wrong for having those things come up. But what we want to do is notice, how long do we stay entangled with that energy? How long do we play in that realm of, I don't know if things are going to work. I don't know if this is working out for me. I don't know if this was a good idea. Maybe I should go back to my 9 to 5. How long do you play in that energy? And what we want to do is get the fuck out of that vibe as fast as possible. Lean back into your desires. Come back to the decision that you make today, right? And that decision, you can make that every single day. Every single day, sometimes you're going to have to wake up and make that decision that, yes, this is what I'm claiming. These are my desires. This is what I'm going for. I'm not settling for anything less. It's okay to make that decision over and over and over again, right? But what we want to do is notice when we're sliding back into where we know isn't serving us. And then the third piece around here is, are we living deep into that vision? Because the thoughts, the energy, the mindset, all of that stuff, that's really important. We always want to be noticing what's going on internally. But then how are we showing up in the world? Are we showing up as a version of us who is claiming her desires or his desires? Are you already acting as if? And this term is so popular in the manifestation world because it really matters. It's really, really important to be acting like that version of yourself. Otherwise, it's just really feel good internal work. Right? It feels great to journal. It feels great to visualize and write out affirmations. But who are you being when you're outside of that mindset practice? Who are you being when you get nasty comments on the internet or no one's signing up for your program? Who are you being in that moment? Again, moment by moment. That's how we create our reality. So this is never about being hard on ourselves and throwing in the towel and getting really down on ourselves, telling us, you know what, I've been trying to do this. It's not working. My mindset's not right. No one's signing up. No one's doing this. We don't want to play in that energy, right? We can have our human moments, but we always want to be coming back to this place of, if it was already done, right? If I was already running the multi 6-figure, 7-figure business, how would I be showing up right now? How would I be responding to that comment on the internet? How would I be responding to no one signing up for my program yet? Like, that's a big one. I'm a business coach, so I see this all the time. Are you going to get really down on yourself and play around the energy of, well, I guess this wasn't a good idea. My audience isn't right. That's a big one. I don't have the right audience. I need to switch up my messaging. I need to switch up my ideal client. Or are you going to hold the faith and hold the energy of it's working right until the end? And then if no one signs up or you don't get the number of people in your program, what do you do after that? Do you throw in the towel? Do you go back to your 9 to 5? Or do you decide to launch again? Right? Entrepreneurship isn't this nice, smooth, upward climb, right? It's this jagged, very jagged, bumpy climb that we all have. We all have different experiences along the way, but it's how we're moving through things. It's how we're navigating through entrepreneurship that really creates the experience that we're having. So we can tell ourselves that it's really hard. We can tell ourselves it's going to take a long time to make money. We can tell ourselves that it's going to take a while to get established as a brand and that people aren't going to buy from us unless we have 14,000 pieces of content on the internet. We can tell ourselves all those stories if we want to. Or we can just decide that we're going to show up, that we're going to do the work every single day, that we're going to work on our internal state, because that's the big thing, right? The energy, the mindset, the frequency, that's the really important thing. We can decide to show up as that next level version of ourselves day in and day out until it works, and to have a really good time during that process, which is why it's so important to be doing work that you love. Right? And that is going to create a completely different experience as we move through 2022. And it's also going to help you reach your goals a hell of a lot faster because you're in a different vibration. You're in an energy of like playfulness, of fun, of service, instead of holy fuck, how am I going to pay the rent this month? Right? That's not the vibe that we want to be in. So with our 2022 goals, we want to set them. We want to get clear on what it is we truly, truly desire. And a question I always love to throw out around this is, if you had a winning lottery ticket right now in your wallet, doesn't matter if you actually play the lottery or not, just pretend, just imagine with me. If you had a winning lottery ticket, let's say it was $50 million, and you knew that that money that's going to be in your bank account, $50 million, okay? So you're probably not going to be too stressed out about paying the rent from now on because you have $50 million in your account. What would you be doing then? What would you love your life and business to look like then? That's the energy that we want to be in when we're setting goals in our life and our business, because when we do that, everything changes. Instead of worrying about how am I going to make money this year, how am I going to hit my financial goals this year, it's how can I show up and be even more on purpose? How can I serve my people in a deeper way? How can I create offers that light me the fuck up? That's the energy that we want to be in when we're setting goals. So allow yourself to dream big. Imagine the $50 million lottery ticket already being yours. You've already won it. What would you be creating then? Okay, get really, really clear on that. And then just fucking decide. Decide that it's already yours. And then at the end of the year, here's what tends to happen. You're going to hit your goals, right? Of course you are. That's who you are. But if there's some things that you've been envisioning that feel like a huge stretch, like massive, maybe you want to own like 5 different properties around the world, and right now you don't own any. So if that's one of your goals for 2022, keep that goal, like hold that vision. Right? Because at the end of 2022, you're going to be a hell of a lot further along than if you dreamt like really small and you brought your desires back down to life. And there's a whole process I have that I take my clients through when it comes to energetically getting behind your goals so you reach them even faster. But for this exercise, I really want you guys to go big. Go big and allow yourself to dream big, because the universe isn't going to give you anything you're not asking for. And so if you're playing small, if you're making these decisions at this place of your current circumstances, if you're looking at what was done last year or the year before and thinking, okay, well, the next logical step in my business is 10K months, because all I've done so far is 2K months or 5K months. So I'm just going to do the steady climb. Okay, that's always available. And if that's the way that you hit your money goals and that's the way you grow and expand and that's been working for you, amazing. But I invite you to tap into the bigger goal. What's beyond the 10K? Say if 10K is your goal right now, what's beyond that? What's the vision beyond the vision? And feel into that. Feel how more expansive that is. And hold that energy, hold that frequency, show up as that version of you in 2022 and see what happens. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If this resonates with you, I have 2 different ways that we can work together this year. The first is the Ignite Your Business Academy. That is for coaches and service-based entrepreneurs who want to hit 10K months in their business. And the second is private coaching. So with private coaching, you don't need to be at a certain level in your business, but it is for the people who want to go all fucking in. It's a 5-figure investment. It's a major commitment with your time, your energy, and your focus. And it's one of those things like if you know one-to-ones for you, you know. So if either of those speak to you, resonate with you, reach out, send me a DM, and we can have a quick chat. All right, guys, I hope you have an amazing, amazing rest of your day, and I will see you guys next week. Take care.